All right, we are back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. I got Richie joining me today. Sorry for the little delay, but how's everybody out there doing today?
Doing great, Duke. Can't complain. It's Tuesday. I got my buy one get one free at Chipotle tonight, wearing my Buckeye gear. So it was a good night. What about you?
I don't think I'd walk across the street to eat at Chipotle. Kind of makes my stomach hurt a little bit. But if Chipotle, you want to sponsor the show, you're more than welcome to. But I probably won't be using your product. But anyway,
Anyway,
I'm doing pretty good.
yeah.
If everybody out there watching on Twitter, watching on Duke Eats Burritos in Reverse. I didn't know there was a front and right way to eat burritos, but I do know that it's a very interesting take there. But if you're watching out there on Twitter, come on over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, and help us grow the show. Yesterday's show, doing some good things and growing it out, but. Before we get started, before we hop into the whole thing, Michigan has responded to the NOA just a little bit ago. It's going to be 3 to 6 months before we hear anything. If you see Ohio State Twitter going wild, you see everybody's Twitter going wild. It's because everybody's wanting to read this 137-page document to detail what Michigan allegedly did or what's going to happen through the negotiated settlement. To me, at this point, if nothing's going to happen for 6 months or even a year, just call me when it's over. That's kind of the way I feel about it at this point.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see when stuff happens. If the NCAA is going to do anything to Michigan, just wait. It's a wait and see game, Duke.
Yeah, so I mean that's the newest breaking news. Some media outlets are foaming at the mouth to get on top of this and report it into the oblivion. But I read some snippets that Ross Dillinger reported, and there's nothing earth-shattering other than that Chris Partridge and some of the folks knew that that they were stealing signs or whatever the hell Stallions was doing. But anyway, we got some stuff here on social media. First year head coaching grades. Sid here. Can Indy get those 13 wins back? Oh, jeez. What do you think of this list here? Rich, Signetti, Fran Brown, Kalen DeBoer. I mean, he won 9 games and you give him a C minus.
Well, Duke, he inherited some of that talent from Saban, but that 3-loss, in terms of the standard at Alabama, I think that's the right fit of giving him that grade. Signetti, I give Signetti an A++, man. He did great in that first year, bringing kids in from James Madison and getting into the playoffs. I tip the cap to him.
I would have gave. I've done a total 180 on Billy O. I think that some of the stuff that Bill O'Brien's doing over there at Boston College is, some of the just doing good stuff, and I've done a total 180 on him. Signetti, I was really shocked. Anybody that said that said that the Hoosiers were going to win more than 10 games this year or 9 games this year, no one had that. Fran Brown, I thought they could have even been better. But, they had a bad game against Pitt. Kyle McCord probably. If you take that game off of McCord's resume, I mean, it's It's
Talking Heisman, possibly.
yeah, I think so. The one, I mean, he had what was that, 5 or 6 interception game?
Was that the game where he sacked himself too?
I think so. I think there was a couple of sacks, and then you have DeBoer there. I mean, Alabama lost 39 scholarship athletes.
That's a lot. That's half the over half the roster, really. Well, no, I wouldn't say over half. I'd say maybe like a third.
So they lost a third of their kids. They lost their Julian Sayin. They lost Caleb Downs. They lost a lot, and I think that DeBoer having to pick up the pieces is a very interesting endeavor. I just don't see it. Manny Diaz, I don't know why he got an A, because I think they're going to be terrible next year, and I think 2 terrible years he's fired at Duke.
Yeah. What was their record this year?
I think they went 9-3 or 10-2. Maybe producer Ed
for Duke though. Duke football.
I mean, the last person to win 10 games there was Elko, and I think the other last person was Spurrier before that. And then also on that graphic, Willie Fritz was on there. I think that Willie Fritz is a very, very interesting endeavor in this coaching carousel. I said at the beginning of the season that he's going to turn Houston around. It's going to be a long haul for him, but I mean, Houston was pretty much decimated after Dana Holgorsen got canned. Signetti gets an A in effective trash talk. Oh man. Yeah, so moving on here, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Dad. Did you see this, Rich? This will make you feel old, but
oh yeah.
Whenever Ed gets it, producer Ed chimes in with 9-4. Duke went this year, so yeah, it's a solid year. This photo right here, him and his dad.
Oh my God! Damn.
So the above photo for the audio listeners, it's Jeremiah Trotter Sr. holding Jr. the last time they went to the
Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Yes, with Andy Reid as the head coach. So that
hit me, man. That was 20 years ago. I remember that game. So,
and then that's Junior on the field holding the NFC Champs T-shirt. You know, the one thing that, you know, for as many people hate the Eagles, the one thing I will say about the Philadelphia Eagles is that they've drafted better than everybody the last 5 years.
Yes, they have.
Because they got nothing but dudes everywhere. So yeah, that's a.
And Trotter Jr. wears his dad's number too in Philly.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I think that's a very interesting endeavor we got there.
Trotter was an animal playing for Philly back in the early 2000s. I mean, him, Brian Dawkins, Hugh McDougal, that whole squad for Philly. I mean, they were four NFC championships. You know, with Andy Reid taking them there, and unfortunately they only got one, and they won one. But I mean, having that consistency 4 straight years with Philly. I mean, that's hats off to Andy Reid and Philly for drafting players early on in 2000s. I think they should have won that Super Bowl back in 2005.
I wonder what I'm sure that this has got to be Andy Reid's 11th or 12th title game. Or, well, Well, whenever he won that one, this has got to be his 11th or 12th because he's been to 7 in a row.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got another list here that I found interesting. The top 10 sports video game characters of all time. Producer Ed getting it. Do you disagree?
I knew who was number one right off the get go, and I'm not surprised by number one.
I mean, 04 Michael Vick. It doesn't.
Unstoppable. Guy was unstoppable in that game.
I don't see anything that I really disagree with.
No, I don't see anything. Pablo Sanchez though, I would have put Mike at 2. Put Pablo just because I don't really watch baseball, but no, you know what? Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl was unstoppable too. For Tecmo Bowl being on NES, that's probably way before your time, Duke.
Oh yeah,
but Tecmo Bowl was a fun football game, probably one of the best football games out there. And if you had Bo Jackson, you could just run him all over the field, and he still would not run out of gas and still score a touchdown. He was that unstoppable.
Well, you got the Ballers. NBA Ballers is a very underrated game. I played that back in the day. Also, Ronaldinho on FIFA 07. This is going to sound rough, but I never played FIFA, and I could care less about FIFA.
Yeah.
I get it. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world that, certain people care about. Like, I mean, I don't follow it, and to me that does nothing. Tiger Woods, the people yesterday, we talked just 30 seconds of golf. Obviously, did not tune in for that.
Yeah, I never bought either. Well, I bought one FIFA game because my cousin was playing it, and I played him like, I'll stick to Madden in college.
And then you got Jordan in 2K11. 2K just I'm not into it. Carter here chiming in. Golf is awesome. Okay.
Golf is great.
Jared Goff, he was pretty great this year, although they lost. But
golf, not golf.
Travis Hunter on NCAA, I get it. That's the trendy thing. The kids think it's cool.
You know who I'm surprised that's not on there is Ricky Williams from NFL Street.
That is a good point. Maybe switch Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
And then John Dowd, MVP baseball, Mike Tyson punch out. And I don't think that's a bad list, but we'll switch the gears here and go on over to Matt Eberflus back in the news.
Great hire by Dallas.
Dallas. I don't think it's that bad of a. I don't know. I mean, does this reset the Eberflus thing?
I still think he was dealt a bad hand with the roster that he had.
Well,
getting Caleb Williams in JF, because that GM, what the heck? Was he 3 years?
I don't know what the in-game goal was for the Bears. I mean, you crap on Justin Fields, you ship Justin Fields, you bring in all this talent that you think is going to help Caleb Williams, and it ends up just being a gigantic flop at a certain point. It just turns into a flop.
Yeah. Eberflus, because he came from Indy, right?
Yeah.
He came from Indy. Yeah.
But, Eberflus is a Saban disciple, played for Saban at Toledo. So, what Jerry is doing in Dallas, I don't know. It's the biggest wait and see. I don't think Eberflus forgot how to scheme up teams and forgot how to coach defense.
So
That's all.
speaking of the Cowboys, I think they're getting new uniforms this year.
Is that going to help them win more games?
It probably won't help them get to a playoff, get to Super Bowls, since the mid '90s. But
Like
hey,
what?
if there's Cowboy fans out there, I saw in Fanatics, their jerseys are reduced. So when jerseys are reduced, there's a rebrand coming.
I don't know how much you can try to I mean, you're basically putting lipstick on a turd at that point.
Yeah.
And rolling down the list here, it says Myles Garrett will not be traded regardless of the offers. Was there talk of them trading Myles Garrett?
I'd never heard anything up here about them trading him. He wants to stay in Cleveland, so I think there's just people just trying to throw shit to the wall to see if it'll stick. There was talks with, I think, maybe trying to get him have him traded somewhere. There's maybe talks in Tampa, but that's neither here nor there. But they were never going to trade him to begin with. The guy's a Cleveland Brown for life.
Why would you? Here's my thing. He's your best player.
Right. Why would you get rid of him?
Even though
they were in rebuild. They've been in rebuild mode all year for the last 25 years.
Well, I don't even think it's a rebuild at this point. I think that they got rid of their quarterback and tried to upgrade the quarterback and thought it was a good idea. And Captain Watson, Mr. Hansy, I don't know if he fully recovers. I don't know what they do with him. It's like trying to take over the Giants in Madden and trying to trade Daniel Jones. You just can't do it.
And I saw talks that not talks. I saw rumors that they're going to try and bring Flacco back.
I don't know. You got to do something because, I mean, you're building a new stadium. You got to get a franchise quarterback.
Well, my thing is, I think they're going to maybe trade out of that in the first round. Not trade out of it. Trade down. So I think they're going to go try and get Jackson Dart.
I think the Giants are going to draft Shedeur Sanders.
I think they are too.
But I think that would be the opportune time for, I think, Cam Ward 1, Shedeur Sanders 2, and just draft Travis Hunter 3. Even though at some point Cleveland's got to do something. I mean, Carter is a glutton for punishment. He watches it on Sundays. Like, I don't know how you even watch that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I feel sorry for him.
I mean, it's like, getting kicked in the teeth repeatedly on Sunday.
And kicked in the nuts repeatedly too, dude.
It's just, it's just a bad deal. But
and the thing is too, they're gonna have to replace Chubb because I think Chubb's done.
Oh, if I'm Cleveland, your first. I mean, you could draft Travis Hunter at what are the Browns pick 3?
Third, yeah.
You could draft Travis Hunter, second round, try to get Jackson Dart, or Jackson Dart might slide. I don't know. I haven't.
From his interviews and everything for the Senior Bowl, they're saying he's moving up in the first round. Like he's still steadily climbing into that first round talk.
Yeah, but that's the problem, though. Like,
I know. I don't believe it.
I'm not saying that quarterbacks are they're overvalued, but I'm not saying that, like, it's not specifically saying Jackson Dart is overrated, but I'm just saying, like, there's certain teams that need to draft a quarterback. Excuse me. there's certain teams that need to draft a quarterback, but I don't know where you draw the line though on this. Because I don't think the Browns, if in a perfect world, if you could do it, draft Travis Hunter, put a package together, and try to get 2 picks in the second round. First pick, you draft Jackson Dart. Second pick, you'd probably try to get Judkins.
Yep.
So you have running back, quarterback, and generational player, hopefully.
Generational player, yeah. I Googled after the Natty. No, it was after the championship games, just to see what the mock drafts were saying. The one mock I look up, they had Q going in the first pick in the second round of the Browns.
But yeah, we'll see.
I know it's going to be draft silly season, Duke, and it's one of my favorite times of the year. I can't wait.
Yeah, I just could listen to Mike Mayock on loop for hours. But with that being said, everybody out there watching on Twitter, come on over to YouTube and hit that like and subscribe button. Help us grow this thing. We're getting some growth the last couple of days, and it's all because the everybody out there watching, word of mouth, and helping us grow this thing. But it's one of those deals. And then we got Penn State guy here. PSU lost their wide receivers. Biggest question is how portal receiver Ross and the Hudson will do. I don't think that it's the Penn State thing at wide receiver. I don't think they need help. It's going to be a little bit of the be-all, end-all. And then how much is Knowles making? $3.1 million. And then I don't know what his hefty contract incentives are going to be. I hope the guys – I think Penn State is, for as much crap as James Franklin gets, I think Penn State could be in a worse position. I mean, you could be Nebraska. I mean, getting rid of James Franklin, you're one hire away from being Nebraska or Wisconsin. How's that going since big fat Burt Bielema left? And then we got the way too early college football projection here. It's a bracket style, what we got rolling here. It's very trendy to put Michigan, Ohio State 8-9, and Michigan with the win over Ohio State. This is also very interesting. You have Louisville playing Alabama. Yeah, I agree with you, Penn State guy. Franklin struggled with that at beating the quote unquote big guys, but I think once you get to a certain elevation of talent at the college football level, when I think X's and O's are all equal. It's just how good are your players at that point. And yes, Sid, Notre Dame taking on LSU. As I look over this, North Carolina playing Texas, I mean, that's a very interesting, articulate matchup. Having Bill Belichick in the college football playoff the very first year. Hey, there he is.
I'm back. Somebody had to get her shake for the night, so.
Rich, this is a way too early predicting the 12-team field. Boise, Alabama. Interesting, Louisville in there. No Clemson.
Very, very interesting. Who's their quarterback coming into next season?
Miller Moss, most likely.
Really? Huh.
Sid says
Well.
3 years of Northern Powers. That's something that we're about to get into. Is this the Knowles effect / natty or bust season for James Franklin?
I think it is. Has he made that big splash hire with Knowles? I think, with Knowles trying to shape that defense up. I mean, they're missing wideouts. That's the thing. And they did get some guys in the portal with wideout, but how can they make the big plays when needed? Drew Aller has struggled all year trying to get the ball to his wideouts, and because he hasn't had any. He's had to rely on Tyler Warren and the two tailbacks.
I think Kotelnicki will be able to figure it out on offense. Sid brings up a good point. No Miami, no Clemson. I keep on. I guess I got to die on this hill. Me and Carter got into a debate about the Miller Moss thing that Jeff Brom can turn it around. He says no. I say yes. I think Lincoln Riley's a fraud, but I mean, ever since he's got to USC, he's done nothing. He's done fuck all.
No, not a damn thing. And all that money they're paying him, he's gonna get an NFL job come next year. I bet you any money.
You think so?
I think so. He's not going to want to deal. He's not going to want to deal with the NIL and the recruiting. He's going to want to coach football, and that's it. Just like some of these other coaches.
I think as soon as Kingsbury gets a head job, he's going into the league, and I don't think you'll see Lincoln Riley because he's done just little things. Penn State guy here. Miller Moss will thrive at Louisville. I think so because it's the Jeff Brom thing. I think Jeff Brom is going to be able to turn it around, but for Miller Moss, but I'm on that hill too. I think, yeah, like he says, Miller Moss will thrive at Louisville like McCord did at Syracuse. I do think Miller Moss is talented. Go back and watch that game that he played against LSU. They had everything rolling. Sid here again. Bill Belichick in the CFP year one. I doubt it. Yeah, that's a bold take, but like it says on the thumbnail, this is the meat and potatoes of this. Is it natty or bust for Penn State?
I would say so. What would you say?
I don't know if it's natty or bust. I think as long as they keep making the Final Four and are competitive, I think the powers to be at Penn State aren't going to.
They're not going to budge. They won't get rid of them.
I don't think they will.
Because like you said, Duke, Penn State would be one bad hire away from looking like Nebraska or Wisconsin.
And I don't know why Utah would be number 3. I think the best team in the Big 12 is BYU. Just that's just my opinion. My opinion on that. I think BYU is
the better team. Well, Whittingham, he's always had a tough team year in, year out. This year they didn't have it.
Well, I think Cam Rising got hurt. Isaac Wilson.
Cam Rising in his 8th year of eligibility.
Yeah. And then we got Joe here. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe. What do you know?
I think it's a very interesting, bold take on what we have here. I think that they're talking about Manny Diaz. Here's what is tough about Penn State. It's in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if you've ever been up to State College. It's in the middle of nowhere in a small town. And it's in upstate Pennsylvania. I think it's a hard place to recruit to.
Yeah, when there's not much going on, like what that's a good thing though too, because you don't want those kids distracted with outside distractions and all that shit, you know.
And so I think we've got that established. And also one last thing on the playoff bracket here.
All right,
Ohio's
I want to debate this. How is Georgia number one? Not debate, but
uh
like, what are they basing this off of?
I would say that if I mean, they did get the Branch brothers. I mean, that instantly makes Georgia, I think, more competitive. I think their defense will be better. I wouldn't be shocked to see Georgia number one. I think the attrition that Ohio State lost as far as Jack Sawyer, JTT, Tyleek Williams, they're basically replacing the whole defense um without the one of the top defensive coordinators and Jim Knowles that is off to Penn State. I think it's interesting he did not come to the they didn't let him come to the championship celebration, but I think at that point it was it was a done deal. I mean, we knew about this Saturday, so he wasn't going regardless,
Mm-mm.
but that's just, one of the things. And one of the last things on there, could you imagine Brian Kelly in LSU traveling to South Bend at Notre Dame
Oh,
Stadium?
I would love to go to that game just to see Notre Dame play LSU,
I
just to see them because of the warm reception Irish fans would give them.
I think that Brian Kelly would be um in for a very interesting thing. Uh what do we got here? Sid OSU and Indy get at DC. It's going to be a rough one. Um Mike House. This is pretty interesting. Will Knowles get to run the 3-3-5 defense next year? Yes, I think that is a fundamental thing. I think that Jim Knowles is going to run, wants to play that Jack Leo hybrid position. I don't think that was one of the fundamental resources or reasons why I think he left because of the scheme change. He wanted to, Ohio State and Ryan Day and Larry Johnson wanted to run 4 down. Jim wanted to run exotics with 3. So I think that it's one of those deals. What do we got here? Penn State guy. My father is 81 and watched Penn State from the 60s up and says Manny D was the best ever D for Penn State. Manny D at Penn State gets overlooked because their offense sucked and didn't make the playoffs. I can't disagree. Manny Diaz was good at Penn State. I don't think there was anything that, it's rough, being up at State College. That's all. That's one of the things that I can say. Joe, I listened to about 5 minutes and got all I need to know about their Notre Dame nonsense. Oh, they're talking about on 3. I must have missed something. But it's just one of those things. If you can throw it in the chat, what did I miss? What did on 3 do or not do or botch? And also put in the chat. Does anybody really care about the Super Bowl? Is everybody just chiefed and T Swift out?
Oh, I have been I'm rooting for the Eagles. Nick Sirianni's an Ohio guy. He went to Mount, so I'm rooting for him.
I mean,
I'm just so tired of seeing every time they pan the damn camera on Taylor Swift's it's like that Peter Griffin meme. Oh my God, who the hell cares?
mm-hmm.
Who the hell cares about Taylor Swift? What does she bring? What does she bring value to the NFL? The girl, women watching the game. I mean, hell, I know plenty of girls that watch or not girls, women, females that watch football without having Taylor Swift to influence them to watch the game, watch the damn Chiefs.
I don't know. I can't get over the fact that like I just don't care enough. Like if it was, and it's a rematch.
It's a rematch from '57. Do you think Duke? Now this is going down a rabbit hole. Do you think with the Super Bowl logo it was already predetermined?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Joe, and I'm a Giants fan, and I hate the Eagles.
Poor Joe.
I mean, I think you know what, Joe? This is my honest opinion. I think they should can Joe Shane, the general manager, because he let Saquon walk, and I would fire him just based off of that. And that's just.
Hey, the Titans fired their GM when they traded AJ Brown. Giants should do the same damn thing.
Sid, I don't watch the NFL. It's gotten bad over the last few years. See, I can't disagree with that take there. The NFL quarterback play is bad.
Oh, it's been awful.
You got guys like Trevor Lawrence making a ton of money that hasn't done fuck all.
Throwing for under 200 yards a game.
Dayball too? You want Dayball gone? See, I like Dayball.
I like Dayball too. I think he's a good coach. He's just got handed a shitty hand.
I mean, think about it this way. When you took the Giants job, you had Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
You didn't Joe, I only watched the conference championships and Super Bowls. I think that's a very, very interesting take there, Joe. I can't imagine the Sid. I watched the Super Bowl for tradition. Penn State guy. I was never one to think.
Josh Allen got that first down. That's bullshit.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be too hard to rig or even try to fix, or just I'm not really sure on what we have there. It's just unbelievable.
But to your point, Duke, with the quarterback play, like I think we were talking maybe last week or something about just how bad the quarterback position's been.
I mean, JB's been saying it for years.
He's been saying it for years.
But I don't think it really reared its head until the last couple.
I think too with the gimmick of the RPO, I'm not a fan of it. I've never have been. It works great in college. NFL, I don't like it. I think it's just gimmicky like it was with the Wildcat back in the late 2000s.
Sid here, 10 years of bad drafts for QBs. Yeah, there's been a lot of guys. Remember when Blaine Gabbert was all the rave?
Oh, they talked. Oh, I remember Mel Kiper and Todd, the Fraud McShay, were hyping him up to be the next big thing in Jacksonville, and he was a career backup. After he got let go in Jacksonville.
Even though Brady Quinn's a Notre Dame guy, Brady didn't work out. But, he also went to Cleveland, though.
Yeah. Where QBs go to die. Sorry.
Yeah. Here's a Penn State guy. Mahomes to the NFL equals Jordan, NBA. They protect him. Bills had the first down twice. Who gave him a bad spot? Can't argue that, but I don't know. CFB used to. I think what we got here is. I hate to be the stick in the mud guy, but what has the last 10 years, who are the great quarterbacks?
All right, let me dig deep here. Brady, of course. I'm going like 2000. Brady, Roethlisberger, Manning, both Manning brothers. Rivers. All right.
Here's a good question, Penn State guy. If you're drafting a QB, do you take Sanders or Ward? Right before we reset the show and get the last Notre Dame segment in, are you taking Shador or Cam Ward?
I'm taking Shador.
I think I would have to take Shador just for the simple fact of he doesn't turn the ball over. And I think that's way more valuable in the NFL because I seen a stat. I can't remember where I seen it at, but Joe's like, I like Ward or Sanders. Well, he likes Ward over Sanders. I can see what I can see the pros and cons of that. But yeah, I agree with Sid here. Brady, Manning, Rodgers, Rivers, Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, that era of NFL quarterbacks, as soon as they got cycled out, it just completely changed.
It just went to dog shit.
So, yeah, I could see, but I think the Giants are drafting Shador Sanders, but we got to keep everything on time, keep the show rolling. If you're out there watching on Twitter, come on over to YouTube. We got a ton of people in the chat tonight, like Joe, Penn State guy, Sid. We got a lot of folks over here having side conversation. The chat is always fun, as we're breaking it down. But hit that like and subscribe button. Help us grow this thing. We are on the road to 1K is the new goal. On the road to 1K. So, and people on TikTok, come on over to YouTube and hit the like and subscribe button. The Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. Yes, Joe, hit the like.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. I'll throw this up. Hit the like when you come over. Yeah. Real quick here. One last thing from the Penn State guy. Sanders is more consistent and accurate. Ward better arm talent. I can't disagree with that at all.
No, I don't disagree with that at all.
And this is also, Shador versus TCU had the best game I ever seen. 80% completion percentage, 510 yards and 4 TDs. I mean, that first game that they played against TCU when Dion and everybody, and they were on the road at 11 o'clock start. And, they put it to TCU, and nobody really thought Colorado was going to be able to do anything. But what we got rolling here on the Notre Dame side of things, Riley Leonard says he's still sore from playing Ohio State. Those dudes could hit. Playing in the Senior Bowl could give him playing in the Senior Bowl, if given the chance, he's going to play.
Did you see the tape of Shiloh on one-on-one at the Senior Bowl?
No, I didn't.
He was getting cooked. I forget who he was going up against, but he was getting his lunch taken.
It's interesting. But see, that's how the NFL has changed when it comes to the Shiloh deal, is that you have like the traditional NFL safety, and I think it's more like a hybrid / nickel player. Like Caleb Downs plays in the box. There's more safeties that are going to be like Caleb Downs instead of a hard hitter like Shiloh. 10, 15 years ago, yeah, I think that he is a big time hitter, but
Penn State guy, that's true. They did have a horrible offensive line.
So I think that that is right, Penn State guys.
Good job. You can put your bottle. You can put your shake bottle out there.
And then we got Then we got, horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. Then we got Jeremiah Love. Um, or no, not Jeremiah Love, but yeah, Riley Leonard going to play at the Senior Bowl here. It's going to be. I wonder how his draft stock's going to be. It's um, it's just an unbelievable thing that we got rolling here. Um, it's interesting that. Oh man, that is interesting. I'm getting some text about the Riley Leonard stuff. My uncle's watching. Um, what do you think on the Riley Leonard draft stock? Do you think he's going to go high, or where do
I don't
you
think
think?
he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go late 7. What do you? I mean, can he throw the deep ball? I mean, because in the NFL, you got to hit that deep ball when it comes down to the clutch. And I don't know if he can do that in the NFL. And if he doesn't, some teams willing to take a chance on him later rounds and maybe work with him in the end. When it comes to training camp and OTAs and minicamp,
Yeah, I
maybe
think I don't
maybe he
know.
could be something. It's so hard to tell with these quarterbacks anymore. You just put all your, even drafting like Brock Purdy. I don't think Brock Purdy's the next thing next to sliced bread, even though he was such a great story being Mr. Irrelevant. But I don't think he's anything special. And it's gonna take time for Riley to develop in the NFL with those quarterback coaches wherever he goes.
Um, Joe Long, nah, I'm ready to move on to CJ Carr. Dying to see the kid play. Yeah, we'll have to see what CJ Carr is on this, where he fits in. I think it's a very unique perspective on where he's going to be. Um, I'm really interested to see what it's going to look like in spring ball. And then we got Jaden Thomas going to the University of Virginia not to play baseball this year, to focus on football. And then we got Penn State guy here. Richie Leonard is a baller, but arm talent is lacking for the NFL. I mean that's
He could be I mean, when it comes down, he could be like a practice squad QB, scout team QB
yeah,
for
we'll see. I
a
think
franchise. I mean, we'll see. Like you said, dude. I don't know.
but yeah, Jaden Thomas goes to UVA. It's gonna be interesting. Some people were um, kind of shocked that he transferred, and then Derek Bowden will not. He will not play baseball this year either, and focus on football as well. And then rounding it out, we got the last 12 minutes here. James Laurinaitis, breaking rumor. James Laurinaitis is rumored, I guess, to be in talks with Notre Dame. I don't know. I know him and Marcus are boys, but
Yeah.
it's that's tough. And then we'll go to a couple of comments here. QBs are the hardest to predict. Purdy had his come to Jesus moment this year. He's not the Niners' future. I don't know. If you're San Francisco, do you blow it up?
Oh, definitely. John Lynch has to blow it up for what they paid for Ayuk. And I mean, Chris McCaffrey, he's done. He popped that ACL. Was a week 13?
I thought it was Achilles.
Or was it Achilles? Oh, yeah, Achilles. Maybe it was. Yeah, I knew it was. It was a terrible leg injury. You could see it on TV. Just the injury, just like the tendon and everything, just exploded. It's like holy shit. John
Yeah,
Lynch, he is a great GM. John knows his stuff.
I think the two hardest things with Lynch is that the Trey Lance pick, gonna have a
Oh.
hard time living that one down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just, real quick here, I know we're talking quite a bit of NFL today. I think that, when you look at the teams, you're looking at the Giants are rebuilding. I don't know what stage of rebuilding the Browns are in. I don't know what the Browns are in. I don't know. I don't know how to fix the Cleveland Browns because,
I don't either. And that's why I'm wearing these guys. That's why I've been a fan for God knows how long. Because one, they
well,
weren't in town, and Tampa had Mike Allstott.
I looking at the Browns, I think that they're just a quarterback away. Is it more than that? Obviously, do they need to get younger in some spots? Yes, but I think I'll be interested to see what the Browns do. And then one last thing I find kind of that I would like to. I don't know if all things are equal. If Chris Ash ends up going to Ohio State, do you think that Laurinaitis takes a hard look at Notre Dame's DC job?
I think he does. I mean, why not rejoin one of his best friends from Ohio State to coach the defense? He started out there as linebackers coach at Notre Dame, right?
Yeah. Because somebody said, well, they were talking about, well, could James be the defensive coordinator at Ohio State? And, there was some people talking about it. And I just thought to myself, he doesn't have as much experience as Matt G, but I think the thing with Matt G is it's tough. It's a tough thing because James was playing in the NFL when Matt G was cutting his teeth in coaching. Is playing middle linebacker in the NFL equal to years of coaching of that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. I think Laurinaitis should stay at Ohio State to get more coaching experience because he doesn't have that much. But it's kind of a tough question to ask yourself. Should I go to Notre Dame and be the head guy on defense? Because there's gonna be pressure, Duke, with him trying to fill Al Golden's shoes.
Well, and here's the other thing too. I think after Al Golden had that cup of coffee in the NFL, I think Al Golden was like, okay, what do I need to do to be good enough to go to the NFL? Because I think at his age, it was kind of like, yeah, I don't really want to recruit, don't want to be on the road. Because in the NFL, after your season's over, you're pretty much done from like the last or the first week of January if you don't make the playoffs till
the combine,
Senior Bowl, and then you don't even, the rookie OTAs, and then your training camp starts. I mean, the season, and it's just a whole different setup, to be honest.
So which All-Star games are you gonna be watching this week? The Pro Bowl or the Senior Bowl?
I'll probably watch the Senior Bowl. Pro Bowl's got no chance to win me over.
I've stopped watching it. After what they did with just doing away with the game. Yeah, I'm out on it.
I don't think I can.
I mean, they're going to be playing flag football. Like, what the hell? Like, I want to watch NFL guys play flag football. Like, come on here. Goodell.
I just don't. I don't know. In even when they played the game when they would hit each other, when they started moving the Pro Bowl around, like I would watch the skills competition.
Mm-hmm.
Like who can throw at the far, like the quarterback skills competition was great.
That was always fun to watch. growing up.
And
Seeing Dan Marino in his what are those pants called? Those Zumba's pants, like those tiger stripe, those funky looking pants.
Oh yeah, it's just as soon as they started moving it around and moved it out of Hawaii, it kind of lost its luster because
yes.
And then they always it says Zumbas, and then they should have that should have been the ultimate goal, and keeping it after the Super Bowl was great. And then Penn State guy, do coordinators go on recruiting visits at Penn State? The OC and DC didn't go on a visit. All position coach and head coach. Yeah, I think if I was a head football coach, I'd be making the coordinators go to visits. Kind of important. The in-home visit, you can. Yeah, Joe here. Marcus did, because I see him constantly with recruits all over the Twitter sphere, and I believe I see Chip Kelly. And I mean,
yeah,
let's just put it on wax now. Bill Belichick is out there doing home visits with recruits and visiting high schools. If Bill Belichick can do it with a fistful of Super Bowl rings, everybody should be doing it. But I might be a stick in the mud and doing some.
What do you know, right?
Yeah. The Deion Sanders. But I think the reason why Deion doesn't do it is because I think it's the travel with his health. I think Deion's a health issue.
Yeah.
Irish here. Pendleton got $400K from Tennessee. Good for him. Yeah, the guys that left, and this is just something before we close the show, the guys that left Notre Dame, it's because there was no opportunity there with them. I think that, that's one thing Marcus has done with the staff, is told some of the kids whether they're going to play or not. And I think it was better for, like Pendleton to move on, Pat Coughlin to move on, because they're bringing in other guys, and, guys are going to be getting healthy. And, that's one thing that on the fan end of it, that fans hold on to players so long. Like Ohio State fans are going to hang on to Will Howard forever.
Yeah.
But when Will Howard was coming out as a quarterback, no one even knew who he was.
No, nobody knew who he was.
And he went to Kansas State for 3 years, comes to Ohio State, coming to the pressure cooker, and bang.
Cemented his Ohio State legend status.
Penn State guy, PSU message board trying to say it's standard practice for all teams and OCs not to go on an in-home visit, just head coach and position coaches. Never heard of that before. I mean, you can look at maybe that's why Penn State gets their ass totally kicked when it comes to recruiting. I hate to be that guy, Penn State guy, but they got to do something different. And what James is doing, I don't know. I don't know what the hell James is doing. It's I would think you would want the coordinator, and then you bring the head coach in last to close the deal. Because essentially, like, yeah, Sid and Penn State guy are having an in-depth conversation about the. And yeah, Sid, I agree. It's odd. Yeah, it's really strange that you wouldn't want to send your coordinators on visits. Whenever we see Carter, I'll have to ask him about that, because that's just really strange. Penn State is PSU is not a bad recruiting group, Duke. I bet they beat out But see, the problem is that when it comes to the Notre Dame, it's really tough. There's Carter, through Carter's comment. I can tell you, Urban did in-home visits with almost every single recruit that got.
He went out and got Tommy Togiai out of, was it Utah? Remember Tommy Togiai?
Yeah, I remember.
I think Urban. I mean, that was their first recruit landing out of Utah for Ohio State, and Urban was there.
I think Penn State's NIL is behind, but I think they have you're a state university. You should be able to raise money. So we'll see how the Penn State thing shakes out down the road. But with that being said, appreciate everybody watching tonight. If you're watching over there on Twitter, come on over to YouTube and hit that like and subscribe button. It's been a great one. You got anything else to add before we end it, Rich?
I got nothing exciting. Just same old over this way. I got nothing.
I guess tomorrow we'll see what fallout comes from the Michigan thing. It's going to be a very interesting endeavor. I can tell you that much, and we'll see if it's Natty or bust for Penn State, and see if Jim Knowles is going to be the determining X factor. So,
yeah.
With that being said, everybody have a good night.
Have a great night, everybody.